Welcome to today's episode of the Mint Door podcast. Before we begin, we're excited to introduce you to Refresh, a transformative monthly training program designed specifically for dental professionals facing team conflicts, communication barriers, and burnout. This program is your key to unlocking a purpose-driven, fulfilling life both in and out of the dental office.
So, Refresh offers practical tools and strategies to overcome stress and barriers, helping you tap into your energy and activate your true potential. Our monthly sessions are tailored to guide you in embracing your journey and excelling in all aspects of life.
And there's more. Join our weekly open coaching sessions for deeper insights, peer connections, and expert advice. As life coaches with rich dental backgrounds, we're here to help you discover and confidently use your unique talents every day.
Also, gain unlimited access to our extensive library of recorded modules from Refresh and guest industry experts. This treasure trove of resources is at your fingertips to help you transition from a stagnant state to a flourishing life full of purpose and joy. Refresh is your catalyst for a transformative journey, professionally and personally.
So today we'd like to welcome you to the Mint Door Talk It Out podcast, where we delve into the heart of dental excellence and marketing innovation. Today, we're thrilled to introduce a guest whose story reads like an adventure novel, filled with records, revelations, and remarkable achievements. Today, we welcome Minal Sampat.
Born in India and raised under the vibrant sun of the US Virgin Islands, Minal's journey to marketing stardom began with curiosity and a drive to stand out. A best-selling author, groundbreaking marketing strategist, and a dental hygienist with a flair for social media, she's a living testament to the power of blending passion with profession.
Yeah, from making history by breaking a Guinness World Record to launching her first company, Minal's approach to marketing is as unique as her diverse background. She's the brain behind Marketologist and the founder of CE on the Beach, where dental professionals gather in tropical paradises to learn, grow, and be inspired.
Having graced Forbes.com 7 times with her insights, Minal isn't just a marketer, she's a visionary. Her strategies have revolutionized how dental practices approach growth, marrying creativity with practicality to foster environments where both businesses and individuals can thrive.
So, whether you're looking to rejuvenate your practice, navigate the complexities of marketing, or simply seek a spark of inspiration, you're in the right place. Let's dive into the world of Minal Sampat, where every marketing challenge is an opportunity for fun and growth.
So we're here now with Minal, and thank you so much for joining us, Minal. It's just lovely to have you in our podcast room today.
Thank you for having me. This is fun. This is exciting.
Yeah, well, I want to jump straight in because one thing, whenever we get to see you, it's just palpable that you have such fantastic creativity and productivity. And we want to know your secret. How do you design business systems that boost both productivity and creativity, those things that you're really good at? How does that work?
Thank you. First, I am no master at it. I am in my learning phase, and I also devour books and podcasts and interviews. So thank you for even putting this together, because we listen to you and we listen from other people on how they're doing it. My thing is, I know my personality, and in my personality, I need a checklist. And the checklist needs to be done. So I'm a follower of deadlines. If there is a deadline, it will get done by the deadline. Now, if the deadline is at midnight, it may not get done till 11 p.m., but it will be done by midnight. So one of the things that I know, because that's how I work and how I function, my entire day is based on a calendar. I mean, I even have lunchtime on a calendar. Even on my calendar, I even have the alert to stand up every 50 minutes. So I'm not just sitting on my desk. I have a standing desk right now, like I'm standing up. So realistically, first is having a system that allows you to follow through. So I have alerts set up. My alert goes up like 10 minutes before something else is due, or what it is, or how it is. So it's always efficient that way. And then it's also figuring out what's a priority and what is not a priority, and pushing it in a way that makes sense, right? I think Jeff Bezos, Amazon, he said that if he can make 2 good decisions a day, his day is good. Like that's his goals are met that day. So I kind of like to follow that too and say, what is that one big decision I have to make today? And I kind of start my morning with that. So I know that with all the noise that happens through the day with the emails and the everything else, the working in the business that happens, if I can make one big decision working on the business that day, I am now working towards creating a system. And then I also use apps to communicate with my clients and my team. So my team is on Monday, and Monday allows us to create the task lists, put things, where they, like I said, I like checklist tasks. Like I need to know when you're doing it, what you're doing, how you're getting it done. And then I also have my clients, I also have them on Trello, so I can just log into the platform and see what's going on or how they're going in. So everything is kind of using a mix of technology, and then, creating a priority list to know what is important. And when you do that, you are able to do that. Like, for example, I have a hair appointment at 2 p.m. today. And it's like, well, if I want to get to the hair appointment by 2 p.m., this is what I need to get done. So it kind of works that way.
That's cool. I do have a hair appointment at 2 p.m. today too. So we're on the same schedule there. How does it work specifically for dental practices when you're sort of pinpointing and transforming areas specifically for them?
It's in a similar way, but in a dental practice is the opposite, right? So the first thing is I would still recommend dental practices to also use, whether it's Slack, whether it's Monday, whether it's Trello, Asana, some sort of an app where you are communicating, where it's easy for you. Because here's what happens. Let's say the doctor has 8 patients that day. They're only in their room maybe for 10 minutes in between or sometime during the day. You both know this, like you kind of jump in. Now, by the time, if you need to figure something out and if they need to do a 10-minute, kind of like a draft on what's happening, it takes away time on that. But if you're able to simply log into the app, look at the notes and see, okay, this is what's going on. I have to make a decision on this and type in your answer. Now the team, whenever they're working on it, has that information too. So while you're working on your practice, I highly recommend using something. Clearly, this is not for HIPAA and patient discussions. This is for working on your practice, not in your practice. We are not talking about patient, but hey, we have to get this done, or we have to get our FA updated, or we need to talk about when our next team meeting is, or we need to talk about our new scheduling system or a block schedule, whatever it is. Communicate through that so that everybody gets alerted. Use these apps because they're easy. Once you have them, your life becomes easier too. The second thing is also the morning huddles, right? So the morning huddles are a great system for you to put down how your day needs to go. I'm a big believer in morning huddles, whether it's for practices, even for myself. I talk to my team 3 times a week at the beginning of my day, like at 8 a.m. From 8 to 9 a.m., I talk to my team. My clients are not even scheduled then. This is when I am with my team and saying, this is our goals for today, for our week, for the month. Where are we? How are we doing this? And that communication, even if you're using an app, helps a lot. So how do you want to design your day, and how do you want your team to fit in, and how do you want your patients to be taken care of? Or perhaps there's specific things you need to talk about, or record those video testimonials and photos and everything else for marketing. But I would suggest a combination of the morning huddle and then using some sort of technology to communicate with your team.
That's brilliant. I love how you bring the technology and blend it with the personal. Like you can't do all technology, and you can't do all personal. And I really resonate with that technology piece, because it probably frees up then people when they do have downtime to like actually take a break.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan in that. Just put down a to-do list. Like I do that with all my team, where I have, even though we are using, like, let's say Monday, even in Monday, there is an active to-do list. And with this apps, you can assign people to a to-do list. So I can assign, hey, send out an email for See on the Beach. This is our topic. Hey, go ahead and make sure that you communicate and create this thing here, or do this or do that, make sure the hotel contract is in my email. But everything has a to-do list. So even when the team is kind of like, okay, I have 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, they can easily go in and start clearing out that to-do list and then put a deadline to it too, so they know when to get it done. So when we create the to-do list, one, you want to do a brain dump, so everything kind of goes there. Anything that you're thinking, and this is why I also like technology, because these apps are on your phone and computer. I know that majority of my doctors are like the kind of people who wake up at 2 a.m. with an idea, or who would, and clearly they're like, it's 2 a.m. I'm not gonna, but by the time you wake up in the morning, the idea is gone. But I tell them it's 2 a.m., just get your phone, go into the app and just throw the idea in. And then the next morning you could put it in, you'll be surprised how many people, end up doing that. So, and I get emails from my docs, or I'll get an alert all the time. And ideas usually come in, funny enough, between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. So I know that my practices that I'm working with, they're all on that same schedule where their brains are dreaming of things at 2 a.m.
I love that. And then they're harnessing that and bringing it to life. So super cool. It just highlights again why you're such a unique and talented market person. But I'm curious, because there's a lot of noise in the digital world. I mean, we're bombarded all the time. And so how do you help your clients stand out? And how do you balance that? I mean, similar to your scheduling, how do you balance the SEO with creative storytelling? How do you do that?
Again, it's just systems done pre-hand, right? So you don't wait till March to market March. Your March should already be on the calendar in January or February. So currently, it's creating things preemptively. So we always talk about being reactive or being preventive. So we don't want to react; we want to prevent. So we want to always go ahead and make things happen way beforehand. So, for example, most of my clients, they already have their marketing plans or content calendar till April at least, and we're in February right now. So it's always ahead of the game. So this way it doesn't become an overwhelming feeling of, oh my God, I have to get this in tomorrow. And that is what I try to teach them. Now, do some of them still do that? Of course they do. It's life. Life happens and things happen. We can't dismiss the fact that sometimes we just can't get our checklist done, and that's okay. That happens too. But that's why we have content, and that's why we have Google folders with information readily available, and that's why we have team who's communicating. So it's just kind of creating that beforehand. And there is a lot of noise. There is every ding and ping and notification that comes through wants your attention. Everything that you do wants your attention. So again, I kind of like to go back to very basics for that. So for example, just take a look at it. And is this something that you're even remotely interested in? If not, forget it. It doesn't matter how popular, how trendy, how amazing it is. It doesn't matter. If you're not remotely interested in it, you don't have to force yourself to be interested. Like, I don't share about my family on social media. If I did, I would get a lot more engagement, but I'm fine. And I just don't want to. So I just won't, right? Even though that's what people tell you to do, share your personal life. I'm just not going to do that. And that's okay. And I teach this, and I'm doing just fine with my engagement and my following. And then even the opposite of that, think like Oscars are trending right now, or Grammys will be trending, right? Like, they are trending right now. And a lot of people are using like the Taylor Swift thing or something or the other. And my clients will be like, yeah, I really don't like this. Then don't use it. It's okay. You don't have to. Even if you have a marketing company calling you and saying, hey, your website sucks, you don't have to take them seriously. You're okay. Like, you're fine. Unless you come to me and you're like, oh my God, I'm dying. I have 0 new patients. Then we get into some of the stuff. But otherwise, just trust your own instinct, trust your comfort level. And it's okay for you to say no to many things so you can say yes to the right things. If you say, yes, this is really something that I believe in, I want to do it. Like, I have a practice that is very much into education. They talk about it. They are pushing dental education. They are not into I'm going to go and dance around on social media or this. No, they want to be an educator. And that's totally okay. We just have to create that education that is more relevant and entertaining at the same time. And we can push that out. So there's always a way with what you're comfortable with. And like I said, just learn to say no to a lot of things and say yes to the right things, and you'll organically feel happier in your life.
Mhm.
That's
It's
brilliant.
authenticity, isn't it?
Mhm.
And that's what resonates. I mean, you can tell when something is somebody's forcing themselves to do something, and you can tell when someone really feels comfortable with what they're putting out. I mean, you can feel that across the airwaves. It's weird.
Yeah, and again, if you want to learn and do something new, absolutely go for it. But if this is something that goes against anything, against what you believe in, against what is going, you don't have to, I don't know if there's a nice way to say it, but you don't have to sell yourself, or you don't have to push yourself to do things which are not aligned with your goals and your lifestyle. You're going to be just fine. It's okay.
It's so refreshing. Thank you, Minal. That's just like, oh, it's so nice to hear that.
And it's a unique approach, because you don't find many people saying don't do that if you don't want. They'll have a system, or they'll tell you a prescribed way to do something their way to make it a success. But with this way, you pick what's successful to you. And now, Laura and I, both of us have been lucky that we have both participated in your Marketologist program. And it was just so valuable to us when we got to do that. Now, you have a unique approach to dental education. You have something called CE on the beach, along with your Marketologist. Would you share with us a little bit about how you see the future of learning and personal well-being evolving for dental professionals?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking about that. Again, I think it kind of goes back. So, Sea on the Beach is destination dental education, right? So, I grew up in St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. So, I grew up on an island. And one of the things growing up that I realized was that there is education and then there's immersive education. Immersive education is even if you don't specifically remember a tip or a strategy, you remember being somewhere, with a friend or a colleague or an idea that came about. And this creates this memories, right? Like even if you were to close your eyes right now and think of your last vacation, you may not remember what exact words you used, but you remember the feeling, you remember the emotion, you remember sharing that feeling with your family, significant other, your team, whatever that is. And the immersive experience creates that. And this is why when you guys, you know this because you're in Marketologist, when you join Marketologist, you actually receive a swag box. And in there is like a t-shirt and a book and a pen and things that you need when you're doing Marketologist. And the reason that was done was I want you to create an immersive experience. Even though you're watching videos online, you're sitting down in this and you're feeling like you are a part of a group, organization, a team, that there are other people, and you will see that there's a lot of people who are sharing photos of them wearing their Marketologist stuff. So oh, I belong in that too. Oh, I belong in that too. And it creates a group. It creates some sort of synergy between people. So Stay on the Beach was something like that, where I wanted to create that immersive experience. Like you may not remember a tip, but you remember walking in the sands of Aruba and enjoying that sunset and thinking about something that you heard today and be like, I can definitely implement that tomorrow, right? And you remember that feeling and you come back and implement it. So for me, immersive experiences are the way that I remember, the way that I go back, the way that I pick out the best things that I want because my memory allows. And then there's also a joyful attachment to it. So when you're happy, you're more likely to do things simply because how you feel. You guys know this. You guys teach this. You know what this means. So it's how do you build that happiness with information at the same time? And that's why Sea on the Beach was born, was to create that immersive learning experiences. This is why it has like a beach party, and the beach party is always something that you don't do otherwise. So like if you were to come, so this year Sea on the Beach is in Aruba in July, but if you were to come to Aruba, even if it's not for a CE event, you're not going to go to a private island in Aruba. You're probably just going to enjoy Aruba. But there's a private island in Aruba, which I have booked for the beach party, because you will remember that, oh my gosh, I went to the CE event in Aruba, not only in Aruba, but I've went to a private island in Aruba and I met all these people on this private island. It becomes a story, it becomes a memory. And that's kind of what I want to do. Like last year was Turks and Caicos, and the beach party was on Grace Bay, which is the best beach in the world, during sunset with a bonfire. So everybody remembers, oh my gosh, yes, I was on the best beach in the world with 180 people, and we talked about this, and we did this, and I remember this. So it's the kind of feeling that you get once you come out of something, and it's happiness, it's joy. And that translates, I believe, in a lot more success than just here's a workbook and let me overwhelm you with information, and then you go back feeling tired and exhausted and overwhelmed. That's not what I want at all. You know, so there's just ways of how I think personally that has worked for me, and it looks like it has worked for many other people, to bring that into the dental industry.
I just want to be on the beach in Aruba now,
Oh,
having a 360-degree immersive experience. And it's just so clever how it's all those senses all coming in and tying together to create the learning experience.
Yeah, because even if you think about it, even if while you're in Aruba and you're sitting on that sunset, you know, enjoying the beautiful sunsets or feeding a flamingo or whatever it is, and you're with your colleague, your natural conversation will go to something you learned that day. But that learning becomes a conversation, which becomes a memory. And because you're feeling happy emotionally, it becomes a happy memory, a happy learning experience. And then the next week you will talk to each other and say, hey, did you implement this? Oh yeah, I did. I did this. Oh, did you do this? I did this. So it creates this whole, like you said, a 360 learning experience, but it's an immersive learning experience. And it stays with you longer.
Well, that's just brilliant. And I think that the piece of it too, just bringing people together into that, you know, like that fostering of friendship in that environment as well is brilliant. So you've obviously highlighted how you are a different marketing expert. Sorry, I'm getting all my words jumbled here, but tell us a little bit, you know, like details. If people are listening and they're like, what's Marketologist? Can I get involved in that? Or what is CE on the beach? Can I get involved in that? Can you just highlight some of the points on both of those for us?
Yes, and thank you for asking. Marketologist is it's a online immersive experience. So the way it works is there is recorded courses, there is content, there is different tracks. So there is track for dentist and team. There is a track for coaches, consultants, speakers. There is a track for aspiring marketologists as well. So these are people who want to do marketing as well. And it's a combination of everything from recorded videos to live sessions. So there is office hours that happen every other month where you come in and you mastermind, you ask questions. And then there's also one-on-one sessions with me, because I truly understand that there is no cookie cut approach to things. So even if I have all of these amazing recorded videos, which you can easily implement the strategies and everything, because it has every video has a printout. So, you know, there's as you can see, I like checklists. So there's usually like a checklist that goes with every video. There's resources. So every content piece, like I would have people send me photos of their Marketologist folder because they printed everything out and they're going through videos and implementing. But then they schedule a one-on-one session with me and they say, hey, so we really like this strategy and my practice is, you know, 4 locations and I really want to do this here. Or I'm an oral surgeon, or I'm a pediatric dentist, or I'm a GP, or I really want to do Invisalign. Then we can talk specifically you and your goals. So that's why the one-on-one sessions are included. And then there's also every other month, there is a mastermind office Q&A where you can ask questions. And I love the mastermind. It's actually my favorite part because everyone comes together, right? So they're all sharing their what's going on and how it's going. So Marketologist, you can just check it out, marketologist.com. You can click on the track. You can see what's inside the course, like all the subjects covered, and you can see if it's the right fit. It's great. And CE on the beach, like I said, it's CE on the beach. So C as in cat, not SEA, but CE on the beach.com. And that's, again, that's opposite of an online course. It's learning in tropical destinations. So this year, like I said, it's Aruba. Again, different tracks for different days, dentist as well, and everything is covered. Clinical and marketing and admin, there's panels, and it's at a beautiful resort, is the Aruba Marriott on the beach. And then there's, you know, the beach party on a private island, because why not? Why not?
I mean, why not? Oh my gosh, that is awesome. And we will make sure and include those links in our show notes. So if you're curious and you're thinking that this sounds like something is for you, which I mean, CE on a beach and then a private beach party. How could you say no to that, right? So yeah, those will be in the show notes. So please check out those links. And
I just wrote it on a post-it note. I just wrote down Aruba 2025. I don't know if it's going to be an Aruba there, Minal, but I'm trying to
probably not. I do a different island every year. So we have done the Virgin Islands, we have done Turks and Caicos, and this year Aruba. I have a lot of people asking me for 2025. I have no idea whichever it's going to be. I cannot, my priority list for 2025 is so low right now that I don't even know.
Well, I'll leave the destination to be decided. I'll put TBC.
Yeah, we'll just put that. We'll put that on our vision board for sure for 2027. So, fantastic, Minal. I just would like to thank you for bringing this refreshing perspective to marketing, and just thank you as well, and commend you for how much you have created in the world, starting from humble beginnings and Guinness World Records to Forbes to Marketologist and CE on the beach. You're pretty amazing. And, 100% genuine and kind too. So, I mean, you get what you see. Minal she's just real. So reach out to her and check out her Marketologist or CE on the beach. And I think you'll be amazed. Thank you, Minal.
Thank you for having me. That is too nice. I should just hire you guys to introduce me every time now.
We'll follow you.
Yeah. You guys are too kind. No, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. This is a great podcast that you have, and I'm just so glad that we can hear different perspectives from different people, because there's always good learning to happen and creating friendships. Appreciate all you're doing.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being our friend first and our internal marketologist second. And listeners, I hope you found some encouragement from this episode. We adore you, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Mint Door podcast. Bye.
Bye.